Attention passionate Detroit, Lions fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Detroit Lions' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Detroit Lions fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Detroit Lions fans. Let's get to the news in the NFL world. Rumors are swirling about a potential blockbuster trade that could reshape the landscape of the NFC North, and it's centered around none other than Myles Garrett. Yes, you heard that right. The Cleveland Browns, currently sitting at 5-8 and struggling defensively this season, are reportedly considering trading their superstar pass rusher. The whispers coming from inside sources suggest that Cleveland might be open to trading Garrett in exchange for first-round picks and a young defensive tackle, which would also open up around $26 million in cap space to rebuild their offensive line. It's a bold move, but one that could make a huge splash in the league, especially for a team like the Detroit Lions, who are eyeing every opportunity to strengthen their roster for a postseason push. Now let's take a step back and look at Garrett himself. He's a freak of nature, a true predator on the field, and one of the most disruptive edge rushers in the league. Playing out of Texas A&M, Garrett's production in 2025 is nothing short of stellar. His overall PFF grade sits at an impressive 94.2, which ranks him as the top edge rusher in the league this season. When it comes to pass rush, Garrett's grade is even higher at 95.6, making him a nightmare for any offensive line trying to contain him. His run defense is solid as well, with a grade of 90.4, ranking him second among his peers. In 13 games, Garrett has accumulated 13 sacks, along with 52 solo tackles, 5 forced fumbles, and an astonishing 35 tackles for loss. He's been a force in every sense of the word, generating 132 pressures, more than anyone else in the league, and his impact is felt on every play. His career numbers are just as eye-popping. Over his time in the league, Garrett has amassed 98 sacks, over 300 tackles, and maintains a win rate of around 35%, placing him among the top players in that category. His efficiency is reflected in his EPA, expected points added per sack, which is 30, a figure that shows just how much he can swing the momentum of a game with his pressure and sack ability. Even with some minor injuries this season, including an ankle injury in Week 6, Garrett has played through it all, logging 98% of snaps. Standing tall at 64 and weighing 272 pounds, he's physically imposing, and his quickness and athleticism make him comparable to some of the best pass rushers of all time, including T.J. Watt, who, by the way, has a similar profile and has dominated opponents with his relentless pressure. So why would Cleveland consider trading Garrett? Well, cap space is tight, only about $11 million remaining, and the team's Super Bowl odds are currently at plus 15000, which suggests that they're already looking ahead to rebuilding and retooling for the future. Their offensive line has been riddled with issues, especially with 5 concussions in the unit and a ranking of 25th in EPA per pass attempt. The team's struggles are evident, and with a 1-5 start to the season, the Browns are clearly in a rebuild mode, especially on offense. The current quarterback situation and secondary injuries have only compounded their problems, allowing opponents to rack up 30 points per game. According to some insiders, Cleveland might see Garrett as a valuable trade chip, especially considering his age, just 30, and his hefty extension worth $33 million. Now, let's shift our focus to what this could mean for the Detroit Lions. At 9-4, the Lions are in a fantastic spot in the NFC North, but adding a game-changer like Garrett could elevate them to a new level defensively. Currently, Detroit's defensive line ranks 13th overall in PFF with a score of 73-0, but with Hutchinson dealing with a concussion earlier in the season and Alan McNeil sidelined with a knee injury, the line has been a bit inconsistent. The addition of Garrett would be like pouring gasoline on a fire. His presence would not only boost their pass rush, adding to Hutchinson's already impressive numbers, but also help control the run game. Garrett's ability to generate pressure, over 80% increase in pressures this season, would turn Detroit into a sack factory, elevating their defense into the top-tier category, perhaps even top 5, especially if they can complement their existing pass rush with his disruptive presence. Imagine Garrett lining up alongside Hutchinson, creating a dual threat that offenses would have to scheme against. Garrett's 35 tackles for loss and 13 sacks would put constant pressure on opposing quarterbacks, forcing them into uncomfortable throws and hurried decisions. This would be a game-changer for Detroit, especially in high-stakes moments like third-down conversions. The Lions have already been solid defensively, allowing around 17 points per game, which is among the best in the league, but with Garrett, that number could drop even further, possibly to under 15. This defensive upgrade would provide Goff with even more time to operate, opening up more opportunities for the offense to sustain drives and put points on the board. Speaking of Goff, his performance this season has been stellar, with a PFF grade of 77. 0 and 25 passing touchdowns. He's been a steady leader, and with a stronger pass rush, he can take even more shots down the field or extend plays with confidence. The Lions' offense, which already ranks among the best in the league in terms of efficiency, could see a boost in their explosive plays. Their ability to convert third downs would improve, especially with opponents forced into longer third and longs due to Garrett's pressure. It's a win-win scenario for Detroit, strengthening both their pass rush and their overall defensive identity, pushing them even closer to their ultimate goal, winning the Super Bowl. Now, let's talk about the bigger picture. The Super Bowl odds are already shifting in favor of Detroit with these potential moves. Bookmakers are now giving the Lions plus 900 odds, but if this Garrett deal goes through, those odds could tighten even further, possibly down to plus 450. The addition of an elite pass rusher like Garrett could be the X factor that pushes Detroit into the elite circle, maybe even catapulting them into a deep playoff run, similar to the Chiefs' three-peat attempts in recent years. The NFC landscape is competitive, but with Garrett's disruptive presence, the Lions could be positioned as serious contenders, especially if they can maintain their offensive consistency and improve their secondary. This trade would also send a clear message across the league that Detroit is all in for a championship run. It's not just about trying to reach the playoffs. It's about dominating on both sides of the ball, and Garrett's arrival would symbolize that commitment. It's reminiscent of the kind of moves teams like the 49ers or Chiefs make, adding star power to put them over the top. And for Cleveland, it's a calculated risk, perhaps even a necessity, if they want to jumpstart a rebuild and recoup some value for Garrett before he hits free agency or declines further. In conclusion, this trade scenario isn't just a fantasy. It's a real possibility that could reshape the NFC North and position Detroit as a true powerhouse on defense. Garrett's talent, combined with the Lions' current trajectory and need for a dominant pass rusher, makes this a compelling story. The Lions have already shown they're serious contenders, and adding Garrett would only strengthen their case. Imagine the pressure on quarterbacks in the playoffs, with Hutchinson and Garrett coming at them from both edges. That's a nightmare for any offense, and it could be the difference maker that finally pushes Detroit over the finish line, bringing the Lombardi home once again. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUBE algorithm to keep recommending the latest Detroit Lions news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Detroit Lions fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Do you believe the Lions should make a play for Myles Garrett? How do you see this affecting their chances in the playoffs and beyond? Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Detroit Lions. Remember, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Lions news. Let's keep this conversation going and continue to support our team through thick and thin. We're on the cusp of something special, Lions Nation, and with moves like this on the table, the sky's the limit. Let's keep dreaming big. The Super Bowl is within reach, and it's up to us to believe, support, and push our team to greatness.